Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another exceptional episode of the Pitchside
Podcast.
As usual, the lineup is amazing. Murudi?
I also shop a 4x4, shop a 3x3.
No. Ntate wa di ankle.
Yeah.
Ntsha di ankle ba go bone. Pubezi. Vila.
Mr. Naves.
Valdez is here.
He's here.
Valdez is not coming, he's here.
Umbono tlhagile TV o ntshitse di ankle mabane.
Guys. I matla genie na re nna so re ke ntse mara se ankle mola ampur potri.
Ampur. I think you can buy bitsang Nika Bo.
Nika Boka. What are you talking about?
Guys, are we talking about
I've got evidence. I've got his picture.
Sugar. Are we talking stylist or you came to talk football? Let's stick to football. Thank you for having me.
You bring joy, you know, you're here, get it 3x3. Gentlemen, we're back. Betway Premiership is back. We just played Stellenbosch 3-0 win. The game was wrapped up in the first 20 minutes.
Clean.
Job well done. That press, we cannot.
Clean.
That press was, I don't even know what to call it, because even in the post-match, you heard the coach speak about you can't make mistakes with the quality of players Sundowns has in that last third.
100%. You look at how they were so quick to pounce on every error, and they punished Stellenbosch. Quick. Make sure that you maintain your standard.
100%.
You don't drop the ball. You make sure that where you want to be, you maintain it. If you find any loophole to capitalize, you take it, and that's what the boys did. Wonderful display of football.
Yeah, I think Shuga, just to echo on what you're saying, I think the most fantastic thing that we saw, I think, on the day is how the approach from the boys was amazing in terms of the hunger, the attitude. You could see it from the word go. The boys just showed the passion. The boys wanted to hunt the ball. I think more than anything, you'd see Sundowns dominating the ball, be on the ball. But with this situation, where they were able to make the defenders make mistakes, then now it shows you the other side of the attackers that also they equally able to attack, but at the same time they're able to make those presses and see moments where we can put you under pressure and try to win those balls and make you make those negative passes. And that resulted having to see Stellenbosch giving the ball to Oscar, not the awareness. And then that, for me, that was incredible. Then that speaks of the approach, it speaks of the patterns of the play of the team that is being it's been done. And of course, that starts from a training session, and it shows also the coach having to implement these things and having to see them coming out like this. It's so beautiful, and guys able to take those opportunities. And it was beautiful to see, these guys pulling all these things, the aggression.
Vila, we always speak about players sometimes take time to adjust to new surroundings and so forth. You had a guy like Sales come in, got 2 injuries, and his takeoff was rather slow, and it did start the conversations in the social media, in the passages about that. But the man has literally now stood up, and I think he's finally got to the pace of the game.
Whatever he's eating, eat more. That dish they cook for you, put it scuffed in, keep it safe, so that when it finishes, you just warm this thing and keep on going.
But it also speaks about the mentality of the player to stay in throughout whatever you're going through. Of course, there's a noise, which is what I think he was able to block the noise. Whatever that he was going through, of course, there are times where you check if then, this noise, where is it coming from? But it was coming from a place where people wanted you to get better.
Yes.
But more than anything, what you have to do for yourself. But he stayed within. And eventually, also with being patient, eventually it came to a point whereby now he's starting to give good results. It's the start of it. And also, once upon a time, also when I came in, it took me time. It took me time to adjust.
That's what I'm getting to. I mean, you said something so important right now that people criticize you because they expect so much of you.
Not only that, the price tag.
And the price tag.
The price tag.
The price tag, yeah,
The price tag. And of course, what you've been doing on the other side, they want to see it happening instantly.
Yeah.
But not understanding that these are two different teams from where I come from and then where I find myself currently. Which was key for him also to understand the patterns, how players move. And I think he came into a striker, but then now he's able to even adapt in certain positions. He understands other people's roles. If then one is moving, but I kind of enjoy him now because he finds himself in those number 10 positions. And is able also to interchange with other guys, and Ribeiro is putting him through. I liked how they were coming together inside the midfield as two number 10s.
For me,
that's headache.
For me, then the headache is now you add Mshishi and you're playing with 3 10s. Can you imagine the havoc that it will be creating? But also, you have a 10 in Sales who tracks back.
You've still got Neo Mayema.
Yeah, no. I think Shuga, you have to also add the tracking back from him because of not only staying positive and saying it's coming, but now he's working even the opposite side of able to help the team in defense.
He's the one winning the ball.
Exactly
assisting defense.
Exactly.
100%. That's why I say whatever he's eating now, Sales, eat more.
And keep dishing.
I need to learn Portuguese. Eat more.
No, of course. I mean, you have to also you have to appreciate this. The talent is there. It's amazing. You know,
and the team also
the talent is
supports
there.
him.
Yes, 100%.
Through thick and thin, the team kept on believing.
100%.
I recently saw a comment from Coach Manqoba saying, if I didn't see him, I didn't coach him. I would have another. But I've seen the guy train. I've seen the guy play. So it's the results of patience and having the kind of teammates that believe in your craft and they want you. The pressure comes, like Vila says, the noise comes from a place of wanting to see you do better.
Yeah. The coach also spoke about the brotherhood and the camaraderie amongst the gents. How important is that in a team dynamic?
Look at the way they celebrate. Lucas hasn't been scoring for a while, but the moment he scores, it's like everybody comes from the bench, from the stands. Those who are in the pitch, we go together, we celebrate, we appreciate that moment together. It was the same when Salah scored his first goal. I remember it came as a penalty, and everybody said, "No, you take it." And the moment he took it, he scored the penalty and then did the backflip. He couldn't score for a while. When he scores again, they'd remind him, "Hey,
backflip."
You want to see
No,
this?
that's the beauty of brotherhood. Brotherhood that happens in terms of Iki also able to give in. Reina's also able to give in assists. Saleh's also giving
it's
to
not
assist.
competition,
It's
it's
not competition. I
complementing
like
one
that. I
another.
like that energy right now, whereby it's coming from everybody, from the bench.
When you look at the
said, Naves.
stats, right, Ike and the goal contributions between Ike and Lucas, we're on about 40 goal contributions.
Just the two of them.
Just the two of them.
Beautiful.
And they're both contending for top goal scorer. They are also at the same time they are the ones assisting one another. If you look at the number of goals that Iki scores from a pass from Lucas,
and
vice versa, it's you'll be wondering.
I'm just happy with the stats. I'm just happy with the numbers because I'm one person that really is fascinated by the numbers, like having to have 14 goals, 9 assists. You know. Iki also having to have 13 goals and 10 assists, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So those numbers also give you a bit of, a push.
Yes.
And also you back yourself up and saying, can I contend for a football of the season? Can I contend for players of the season? Because of those numbers, if are there, I mean, you're equally getting better. For me, you are getting better. They can get better.
Indeed.
I'd really like to see 20 goals. I'd really like to see 20 assists. That's amazing. But
It's been a while since we've had
that's
those
the
kind of
level where we
numbers.
want to see our football going.
Yeah. I saw even with Sales, it's I think it's 6 goals, 5 assists in 17 matches,
and he's 20.
He's 22.
And also just on that, you're looking at Reina's that's been doing amazingly also. Now he's 3-on-3. He's 3-on-3. He started from Cape Town City,
Yes.
Chippa United.
And after a long run of not scoring,
100%.
now the
But
mojo
also
is back.
it shows the hang of the players having to stay within the structures of the team and saying be patient.
Gents, from a fan perspective, when you've scored 3 goals in the first 20 minutes, I guess then, and then I heard Coach Steve Barker also say this, is he looked at things to say, I've got 2 more games to go for the season. There are players I can sacrifice to try and win my 6 points because it puts me in a better position in the league and possibly get back into Africa. Yeah. But from a fan's perspective, I'm watching the game. We're 3-0 up in the first 20 minutes. There's still a long way to go in this game of football. And as you know, football ain't therefore. You've seen teams go into a break 3-0 up and come back and lose the second half 4-3 or something like that. We look at it and we see the guys spreading the ball and just being a lot more patient with it, which does get frustrating. But looking at the tail end of the season, looking at squeaky bum time and where we are, it is the best thing to do, which is to manage the game. You're not putting as much kilometers and strain on the body. And also then the coach is able to make more substitutions. We showed Jody February coming on. Shishi got more time. Kulisi, Blesser got time.
It's so great to get those early goals and get the team in a position of comfort earlier, because like you say, it's towards the end of this long run, and at the same time you also need to maintain the level of fitness of the players. You give players like your Tebza, you can see how the coach is managing. He gets the job done and then gives somebody else a chance. You had 3-4 games in the past few games. Jaden was starting on the bench, so you need to manage the workload, because at the same time you don't want to lose the rhythm, but during that same time of maintaining the rhythm, you need to also manage the players, because you still got a Club World Cup that is coming right now. So you don't want to go to the Club World Cup with tired players. So you manage the players, and getting those goals gives us a cushion that you can be able to play possession for possession. You just keep the ball, push it around, give everybody a touch, give Terence a run, make sure, give Kuliso. I honestly believe Kuliso deserves to be defender of the season because of the contribution that he's done. It's a conversation that we may be bypassing, but the guy is super.
He's simply amazing.
Yeah.
He's super. He's simply amazing.
I started this conversation, I posted it on X the other day, and the attackers, of course, came for me. And they were like, yeah, but how? He's only played 14 games. And I said, no, it's not appearances of the season. It's defender of the season.
Correct.
And I mean, the consistency.
You may play 30 games and concede 19 own goals. I'm a guy, you play, okay. I mean, really.
I think for me with Kuluso, what has been amazing, an improvement for me when he gets to the final third, when he gets to the center on the goalpost by the line, in terms of then having to give in the last pass, because for me he hasn't been that great, but out of lately gave in a nice assist with the cutback, whereas I've been having him there in those moments and saying now the last pass, which because of 1v1 defend, in terms of the principles of defending, of having to be defended, you can't do anything to him. He knows very well how to defend.
I was watching a clip. The former Supersport United Campbell, who's now playing for Club Brugge, said the toughest defender he's ever faced in the PSL is Kuliso Mudau, because you'll push the ball into space and you say, "Aye, Ngambili." And when you look up, the ball is gone. You're like, but I just beat this guy. And I think the other side of the coin, which I also heard the national team coach complain about, was sometimes he's just too relaxed because it comes so easy
for him. Yeah. That is true, because you can even see the way, I think he trusts his abilities, and it like Vila was saying just now, there is room to be better, and there is always a platform and space to improve, and we've seen him working a lot on the final third, and he's been doing exceptionally well. He's got a number of assists during this season. At the same time, you've got that element that he has, that if you try to go for pace, he's quick.
Like he's got those dynamics.
Also in combat, he's not shy of combat.
I was about to say,
he's a big boy.
I was about to say,
you know when you have Tebo Khomokwena in the midfield, you know it's not going to be an easy game. If you come hard, he goes hard.
Because he's got that recovery. In terms of that long legs, able to stretch his legs when he sees that now you're starting to beat me for pace, but also he likes to put his body in front at times, just of course to make sure that it is able to disturb you. So those technical abilities and able to see those awareness, because at times I think he can only mess it up for himself. He can only mess it up for himself because of, as you say, we're all touching it, that he can be better and better and better.
You know, the crazy part about all of this is Kuliso comes from Black Leopards, which was at the time. But nobody at the time, when we bought him,
gave him a chance,
looked at us and said, hey, everybody was scouting. Like, let's just
scouting.
And that's the importance of scouting, right?
Yeah, it speaks a lot about scouting.
You know, I've seen how long our scouting department monitors a player.
Yeah.
They go not just because of your current form. It may take maybe a 2-year period to see how you play against big teams. How do you manage? Are you consistent and so forth? Because I remember there was a player that they've been searching for quite a long time. And when he comes, people question, but there's thorough scouting processes that have taken place to make sure that we understand that the player we're bringing will suit the style of play that we have at Mamelodi Sundowns. So when you have Koliso coming in, everybody is wondering, why are they taking this guy? I also remember when I came here, I came from a team that just got relegated. And it was like, what are they doing? Who's this guy?
And another thing is that as a player, you're able to adapt because of, if you look at him, he's growing strength by strength. Now it doesn't give you also right back only. It gives you centre back. I remember with the game that we played Al Ahly, where now we're chasing the game, and then you knew that if you're pressing and then you're trying and testing these people, you could get yourself a counter. But you can trust on him that he's got these recovery runs that is able to put you back in the game. Ended up playing as a CB. Now it shows you also now he's able to give you different roles within the team, but also coaches are able to use him in different roles to see. Because now it speaks about the tactical now, the elements of being tactical and the coach being smart also and say, look, as much as I'm throwing everybody, I still have that cushion at the back that he can only, maybe he can play alone there at the back.
I know he can.
when you lose,
he plays also from right back to centre mid like Aubrey. He comes from the left and comes in and he's still good in comfortable. So,
but it's adapting.
Positions and adapting to positions. It's
flexible.
Gentlemen, now we move back to the next game, which is Chippa. We just recently played them. How different is this game going to be? Because always, I guess, once you've played an opponent like a week before and you have to play them the next week, something has to change. For the first time, we saw Chippa playing with the back five.
They had no choice.
And but now it's the next game, and I think the thing to do then, I guess, with our coach Thabo, is to look at the last game and say, how do we stop this thing? And you put 5 last time. Do you now put 6? To try and reinforce that. No, I mean, if you had 5 and you let 3 goals in, what it means is you need to reinforce.
Yeah, totally. It becomes a totally different game. Because, one, they're playing at home. They've got their people there who will be watching and rooting for them. At the same time, it's not the same game we played here. It's a totally different game. I remember we also played, I think it was Polokwane. And the following we get to play them again this side, and the results were totally different. And so you really need to understand that the approach, it's not the same. At the same time, but the desire and results that is required, if we get another 3, 1, 2, 3, 1 for Vila, 1 for me, 1 for Naves. So we samba So we just go and maintain the same kind of mindset, professionalism. If there's one player I would single out for the past 4 years that has been consistent, or even 5, depending on how long he's been here, is Tebogo Mokoena. I honestly think that the same way he won Football of the Year a few years ago is the same kind of performance that continues to be displayed. So it's a matter of consistency and making sure that the approach does not change as compared to what we experience. And we finish the league on a high. I wonder what Manje 6.
No, it's important. It's important. Kancane.
Mina the way ngibona ngakhona kumele bavale nga5, bafake 3, bafake 2.
Chippa.
Yeah.
Why do you have to do that?
Greet the viewers there.
How?
It just had to come in.
Because no valenga 5, ufake 3 defensive midfielders.
I think
for
Mina Naves, on the serious note, what I saw from them when they conceded, they started to open up a bit. And they started to create chances. So I was like thinking to myself, then how then didn't you do the same approach?
I think it comes down to that because players want to play.
Yeah.
It's just sometimes they're held back by instructions from coaches
of
who
course.
say, no.
Because
you can't open that at the back.
There had moments on the pitch where they were able to break out from the press.
Yeah.
Which it looked really, really good. But at the same time, of course, it looks good, but at the same time, you have to take off the ball because of it. Then you don't take off. You've got this personality which Sundowns has that's able to steal the ball from you.
You have a peacock. In the front, it looks good, but outside the back, you're exposed. It's a
Which, of course, you'd like to even consider that and say, okay,
Yeah.
if then you have set pieces, let's see how he's going to. You have to test him.
Yeah.
Because of with that blunder that he made. Still, of course, also maybe he will want to clean up his mistakes.
no matter. Another mistake we punish. We don't joke.
Absolutely. That's why it speaks a lot when you're playing a high-profile team. That
Yes.
sometimes you have to manage where you make those passes,
Yeah.
which side of the field you want to really make those mistakes. Because do you really want to make those mistakes closer to your goal? No, because it's going to be evident once they steal it. It will make it so easy because of those people. Ribeiro will clean it
they'll
out.
clean it.
Salez, they're on form. These guys, they're on top form.
Vila, from back in the day, if elokishini wherever bodlala bebantela ukuthi masenibona ngathi kunenkinga Khaba siphumule. So we regroup. It doesn't make sense. Gents, you've got to be honest.
That's all
with
limits.
yourself.
Ukaba kuphela.
But at the same time, Naves, I understand that. It's because of Zokabo Pumole, because of maybe the personalities that you have in your team.
Exactly.
Or maybe because it could be the opposite of the other team, very strong, that's able to make good to card.
Yes.
But Mokab, Obapa, a chance to do what? To come and attack.
Yeah, but also gives you a chance to regroup. Because you must remember, you can't say you're going to match them pound for pound.
No, mina give me. I'm always going to make sure that I'm going to put a good, strong team that I know would as Kabila.
Vila.
La as Kabila. And yes, good chance. You don't want to put the head. You want to. You want to put the head.
We love you.
No,
We love you.
I agree sometimes, which is old school culture
Yes.
at times. Even when you have good players, sometimes you still need to do that.
Yes.
Because of the situation says, no, give ourselves a breather. You kick it. And there's nothing wrong to kick it away. Then we have to restructure and then put ourselves in position, then we go again. I totally agree with you. Because it's not all the time whereby you're going to say, bash,
You want to
bash,
show
bash,
that
bash,
you
bash,
can
bash.
you can
Yeah,
talk
no,
with
bash, bash,
it. Hey,
because
don't
of-
talk with it.
You lose it, and then after that, now we go to our corrections and say, we could have done better. Whereas
Yeah.
we could have avoided this before coming.
Yeah.
100%. I agree with you.
No, ngiyakuzwa Vila. Anyway, ngiphethe amabheji, kumele sikuhloniphe.
Mina nawe sisikelela kadoso.
Gentlemen, your score predictions for the game. Give it 3-3.
I always give it to you first, and then
I'm giving you a chance. Angithi last time mina ngipredict. And now waphakama, so I think it needs a chance.
Based on the contributions that have been happening thus far, Ribeiro finding form, I'm happy for him. Reyners, I'm happy for him. Salez also. Peters getting
It's
closer
a
and
difficult
closer.
one, actually.
Shishi also is touching the ball. You can feel that, okay, there's a piano that's coming.
She scored.
So-
One goal.
Let me give it, I'll stick with 3. I like 3 because I'm giving you goals also.
Okay. Mina nje. Okay.
3.
Yakho. This guy now.
Okay.
All right. Mina, my prediction is Temba's one goal. I just want a goal from Temba's one.
It'd be nice also just to see which
I'm
has
seeing a Temba's one goal.
just to see that Achilles goal. I want to see that Achilles goal.
Shy shot,
No, that would be
shy
nice.
stand.
That would be nice. That would bring extreme confidence into
Definitely.
his back.
Temba's one,
His
yeah.
back is finding the net, and you can see
Shuga,
also.
bangakore la yabona ukuthi bayongishaya.
And then slowly, I like how they're building him up, also
100%.
getting those minutes, because of with this Achilles thing, it can either turn bad if then it's not really looked after. So I'm happy with the minutes that he's been receiving, and also I'm happy that he's also been a team player within the boys. His leadership is really needed.
Hey. Yeah, no. Ke yona Achilles e ntshang di-ankle. Go tjho re le yena moshishi re tla be re mmona tlhagisa di-ankle. E se kgale ka knickerbocker. Mo ya go Taylor uthini? Yetsa veza Patrice.
Bakhathe la, athi no, it's too long.
Donza futhi.
Athi phinda.
What's mo showing mo? Re mathateng. Modise o
Yo,
fikile
yo,
ka
yo,
suit
yo,
ya
yo.
hoodie.
Batswa kaofela ke re fa.
Let's stick to football. Let's not stick to stuff. I have to give it to you guys. Be creative.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is the Pitchside Podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave us your comments. Don't forget to hashtag my team needs me.
team needs me.
We are Masandawana.